Yes, hello, good evening. This is something completely new. Thanks to James Birmingham, who is here with me right now,
Hello, everyone.
with Jayden Reid,
Hello.
T-Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. James Birmingham has created this tier list, which is rank pretty much every Millionaire game since existence. And that's what I'm going to do now.
So, yep.
Okay. We're going to start off with the first edition PC game.
Yeah. Well, this is technically first edition, so technically factor in PC, PS1, and Dreamcast into one package.
Yeah.
So, personally,
I'm going to put it on. It's a good game. It's a good game.
I personally, I agree. I think like it's a good game. The only thing like that would stop it from being like I love it is like the issues of the Dreamcast version, which I can 100% tell you like it ain't pretty.
No,
it's like lower pitch audio. The audio can just get randomly loud and really hurt your ears.
Exactly.
For whatever reason. The PS1 version just like is like
it's okay. It's good.
It's the PS1 version is like in 10 frames per second.
Tell me about it. You haven't played it on a proper PlayStation, mate.
I have played it on
oh yeah, you have, sorry. Long day at work, mate. Long day at work, so you know. Long day at work.
But
while you were streaming, I was making money.
Yeah, the other thing as well about the PS1 is which you know me and you have it both experienced is the screen is like so off-centered.
Unless you have a proper memory card, you have to screen adjust it before you even play the game.
Well, that's second edition, which we'll talk about later. In
first
edition,
this.
Yeah, in first edition, you have to do this every single time if you play not only the Dreamcast version, but also the PS1 version.
Yeah.
Luckily, the PC version doesn't have this issue for whatever reason.
I know.
And also, like, it's just weird. Don't get me wrong, it's a fun game, but like, it's just got so many weird things. Like the Dreamcast version as well. To bring that up again, has like a title screen before you actually get into the menu. Like it loads, and then there's a title screen, and then you get into the menu, and there is also as well a loading screen just to like get into the next round as well. The one thing I think I will give the PC version a slight edge to over the other versions is it's at least a little bit HD.
Yeah.
So
it's in good quality.
It's in good quality, whereas like the PlayStation version is just like pixels. It's just like all pixels.
It's pixels. Not even 30 frames per second. That's the only problem.
Yeah, it feels like 15 frames per second, and that's being generous.
Right. Second edition.
Yeah, I love this game. I love
Second
this game,
edition.
And,
Again, slight edge over the first edition because Chris reads the questions. Every single one of the questions. So and it has an audience in the set, which is good.
Yes, which first edition didn't have, which I just assumed that was just them saving money, which was like I don't know, kind of bullshit to be honest.
Yeah, absolute bollocks, absolute rubbish.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say about second edition is if you played this on the PS1, you actually got to save
save your progress.
Yeah, save your progress, but also like it would also remember to like automatically screen adjust it back to like normal. Like into the center. So rather than you having to do this all the friggin' time, the game just did it for you. So like you could then just hop into a game and it's just fun. The only issue with this is like how incredibly like slow the answers pop up.
Yeah,
Like
and the loading screens. And the loading screens.
Oh yeah, and we cannot forget the loading screens.
They take forever.
The PS1 version, if you play the PS1 version and you actually play it on an actual PS1 hardware, you can hear the disc literally like
spinning.
Make that like spin, but also,
sound.
like there's that, but also that like that data seeking as well. So it's like having to find where that is just to load the question.
Yeah.
The PC version is a little bit better because it's like, well, the PC version only needs like the disc to check to make sure it's like you're running a legit copy rather than just a fake or a burnt copy.
Yeah.
Apart
from that, like another very good game. It's
another very good game. I think I would actually play this more than first edition, to be honest.
Yeah.
Just because of the cool things that Millionaire has. Also, no Dreamcast version.
Thank the Lord! Well. You got lucky, mate.
I know. So you only have 2 copies.
Junior edition. Right. Pretty much exactly the same game as the first edition, but with different graphics and with kiddie questions, let's say.
Yeah, it's basically a copy and paste of first edition with no new features added. Like, they could have easily added in for the PS1 version of Junior the memory card support, because it was like a literal it was like literally released here as second edition. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but
first edition came out, then it was I think second and then Junior.
Yeah, but like we're talking like the year, so like
2001.
Second edition was
2001.
Yeah, so second and Junior are 2001. So, but the thing is like they didn't really do much with Junior, and it has the same issues as first edition with the PS1, where it's off-centered. You'll notice a theme with like if you played all these 3 first games on PS1 is like they're incredibly like off-center.
Yeah,
making it like not incredibly fun to do every single time. I mean, obviously, the second edition gets brownie points because you can actually save like stuff to your memory card, so it makes it a little bit easier. All PC versions don't have this issue, and Dreamcast versions of second and Junior don't even exist. Yeah. I'd be surprised if maybe they did at one point, but I don't know. It's never really surfaced, so we can't confirm nor deny the existence of it. It's just that.
Oh, go.
Again, it's just that Junior is it's just a kid's copy and paste.
It's a knockoff to the first edition, but with kiddie questions, but with more easier questions. Next up, I think you know what my feelings are for this one. Second edition PS2. I can honestly say, this is the. Okay, sue me. I dare you. If you have a different opinion, this is the best Millionaire game of all time.
100 friggin'
of all time.
Get that game in that SSS tier.
SSSS A-star tier. It has everything. It has everything.
It's such a good game. It's like you can tell there was love, care, and passion behind this because they went above and beyond. Obviously, this is not made by the same folks who made the first 3 on PS1 and PC.
PC and Dreamcast.
Revolution Games, which is Revolution Games, which, funny enough, they actually made the pub quiz games.
Yeah, which I've got.
The 2006 and 2000 and...
Celebrity.
What was it? Yeah, the Celebrity one.
Which, funny enough, I'm the only one who can play the damn game.
Yeah, surprisingly.
Amazingly.
But let's actually get into the game, because like the first thing that will greet you is an actual proper opening titles, like the 2001. It doesn't use the correct audio cue. Don't get me wrong. Maybe it was just easier.
Yeah.
For the PlayStation 2 DVD that it was using, but honestly, it's it's just such a good game.
It's so
like,
good. First of all, it has a CGI version of Chris.
Absolutely.
Properly made.
And he's animated. He actually feels like, he's actually talking to, me, the player, like, saying hello and welcome, and is that your final answer? And the good thing is like, you could say second edition is a better second edition over second edition that Hot
PC,
House Creations
PS1.
did. Yeah, because they made the questions actually load faster, which feels authentic to the show.
Yeah.
And that's what I like. And plus, like, Chris Tarrant also does have, like, those idle, like, talks that says you can use a 50-50 if you want to, or anything. It's like, all that. The only thing I will say is the music is slightly pitched higher than I liked it. And there's also, like, times where ask the audience, like, when it shows, it's like they don't even use the correct, like, version of it. It's like the fastest finger first one, which is in all versions, including second edition, but second edition PS2 makes it a lot better to make it feel more authentic to the actual, like, show, like, because the fastest finger first, like, seats are there. I actually just love this game.
It is,
and
I've said it before, I'm going to say it again, the best Millionaire game of all time.
Yes, and I would happily tell people, like, get this game on PS2 if you want the best.
If you want the best experience, the best set, the best everything, get this game.
Yeah. And look, don't get me wrong, we're praising the hell out of this game. We know there's flaws, but we don't care.
Yeah.
We love
because we've played it many times. We know we know how the show works, and this is pretty much the closest thing you're gonna get to the actual show experience.
Yeah, you're gonna play this if you want a genuine close to experience of being on the actual show. Like, you sitting there in the hot seat, in front
answering those 15 questions, Chris staring down at you.
Questions. Yeah, and he's not creepy. Shut up comments if you're gonna say
to those who are saying, "Oh yeah, he's scary," shut up. You're wrong.
Yeah, honest to God, no. But the good thing is like, he does read it. Like I said, he reads out the questions. It's just so amazing.
It's the best.
I have yet to meet someone who criticizes and doesn't, and for whatever reason, doesn't like this game.
Believe me, we will give them a 300-word essay.
We'll give them an essay on why their opinions are wrong.
Yeah. I mean, opinions are opinions, but if you say this game is bad, your opinion is wrong.
Yeah, your opinion doesn't exist. It doesn't matter.
Your IQ is non-existent.
Yes, your opinions are wrong. We're correct. Anyway, get that game in that super duper SSS plus tier.
Yeah. Next up,
friggin' down.
Next up, Party Edition, slightly lower in ranks. The one thing I like about this game, it has all the cues in the right order.
True. That's one thing as well. Second edition had them in a different it went
one higher. It went one higher.
Yeah, it went one higher. I think it was also like sort of like in to match the actual audio, like, question bed cues as well. But Party Edition actually made it where they didn't pitch shift it as well. They kept it pretty much one-to-one with the original audio pitch, which honestly is just, like, so much better. Because, like, that there is, like, okay, that is better. It took us, like,
It took 8 years. It took 8 years.
It took 8 years, but 4 games to finally get the audio cue, like, normal without, like, making any stupid edits
pitches
or
and stuff.
Pitch shift. This game was on PC, PS2, and PSP.
Yeah.
The PS2 version had the buzzer thing, like the buzzer support that you could use. which is pretty friggin' cool. The PC version,
which I've only used once at a friend of mine's place. So, from experience, it's a pretty cool feature.
I have played it both PSP, PC, and PS2.
Yeah,
and it's really good. The only thing is like, and this is going to be a trend going forward for most of these Millionaire games. The lack of reading of the questions.
Yeah. Okay, it's understandable because there are 4,000 questions in the game.
Yeah, but like I feel like coming from second edition to this game, it's like you're expecting like now the standard to be like, okay, second edition set this, we're gonna make sure this is respected. Clearly not, but I can understand it because again, 4,000 questions are in the game. It probably would take like probably even more audio lines to just even read them out and even find the answers to them as well. It's just, I don't know, the game could be...
It could be improved, but then again, it's very good. And one thing you haven't said is this is the first proper Millionaire game to be used in widescreen. There is a widescreen feature to be enabled.
Yeah. But the only thing is, it's only exclusive to the PC version.
And PS2. And PS2.
PS2 has it as well?
Yeah.
I did not see that.
Yeah.
Well, but here's the thing, the PS2 is not a widescreen-based console. It's more or less, like, at the time, 4x3 because of like, when CRTs were. So, I don't think the PSP version has widescreen. I've not checked. I think next time if I boot up the PSP version, I'll check, and who knows, maybe I could add a comment saying like, hey, PSP version does have.
So there's Party Edition. Yeah. I'm putting it. It's a good game. Game Boy Advanced. I've watched all of them. I've played them all once, and I'm gonna say it's not exactly the greatest. So I'm gonna put them. It's passable. It's a passable game.
It's a good portable versions of the first three like PS1 PC games. It's just I feel like it lacks because like once you press start, you practically just get thrown into the game. Like you don't have fastest finger, you don't have like a menu before you go into the game to like set everything up. I mean, this game could theoretically, all three could have like link cable, like the GBA link cable support thingy, So it could have had that, but unfortunately,
it didn't.
It didn't. And also like as well, like obviously this is GBA, bearing in mind, so the audio isn't going to be great. But also like when you start like new games, like the audio like changes, like you'll like in one round it'll just be the fastest finger, what's the right order, cue playing, and then the other ones it would actually just be the £100 to 500, like £1,000 like bed loop. In others is like £2,000, and then in another is like £64,000, and it's just like how can this just like be played like in such a random weird order? Like, and the thing is as well, again, this is GBA. This doesn't have
it doesn't have those mega Supertronic gigabyte stuff. It's just portable.
Yeah. The GBA hardware can do audio. It can't just it just doesn't do it great.
Yeah.
It doesn't do it great. It would be very bit crushed.
Yeah.
As well.
Exactly.
So for first edition, it's good. It's just a GBA copy. I feel like to me it's a GBA portable version of first edition. Except it doesn't really have much of the features of the actual first edition from PC, PS1, and Dreamcast. Just get thrown in.
Yeah.
I mean, this will apply as well to second and junior as well. You get thrown in, but Junior also just has some weird things going on with it, but we'll talk about it when we get there.
Exactly.
So it's a passable. It's like a B tier game. I mean, I would play it, but
not often.
I'm not too mad on it, and I do actually own the copies as well, all 3. So I can prove that I actually do own them. So I'm not just lying. I'm just talking to you through emulation. I actually have played them on actual thing, but it's passable.
It's passable. It's not the greatest, but then again, it's not the worst. So, first edition Wii. I've played it many times on my Wii/Wii U. I'm torn between passable and alright like.
I think it's alright. It does the job. The only thing bearing in mind, this was developed by Slam Games, and published by Ubisoft, so take that into consideration. They use video files of the actual Chris Tarrant, so rather than having a game version of Chris Tarrant like we had in the 2nd edition on PS2, they actually just record Chris saying these lines in probably a very dark studio. My thing is with the Wii version is when I look at the video files, it kind of just reminds me this game could have just started as a DVD game, but it was then converted to a Wii game later on. It's a good one. The audio cues are pretty much the same. Although, when you get a correct answer, it's you'll still hear the normal one until it loads the next one, and it does that for every one of them as well, except for 1,000 and 32,000, probably likely a million. There is multiplayer.
Yeah.
As well.
1 to 2 players.
There's 1 or 2 players. I believe Fastest Finger First is in this as well. I don't know. I can't confirm that.
Definitely 2nd edition.
But we haven't got that.
Yeah.
But I personally think it's all right.
It does the job. The one thing I will say about it doesn't play the £500,000 question queue.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, and also when you get the question wrong, instead of just playing the final answer, it just cuts out the audio entirely. So
it does the job. Right. It's a standard Millionaire game. It does the job, but then again,
Yeah, it's good. It's fine. It's passable. It's passable,
but it's all right at the same time.
It's all right, but it's a passable experience. I mean, here's the thing: you can buy this for if you don't have any other consoles out right now, you just packed away your PS1 or any other consoles, and the only console you have out right now is say your Wii U or your Nintendo Wii, then there's nothing wrong with buying 1st edition on the Wii. Granted, it's actually a little bit easier than when we get to 2nd edition on the Wii later on. But yeah, it's passable.
It's passable. The DS version, again, it does the job. Slightly smaller in quality due to the DS pixelation and stuff. It's all right.
Yeah, it's all right, and I think I would actually rank this slightly a little bit lower than the Wii version because
I mean, I put it's all right.
My issue with this is it only just plays 1 audio cue. It doesn't really change audio cues. I mean, it's understandable because for the DS limitations of the DS hardware, but when we look at DS 2nd edition, it makes 1st edition kind of just look like a sloppy job. Opinion. And so it's and plus that questions 1 to 5 queue playing throughout the entire game, like even into questions 6 to 10 and 11 to 15. It just doesn't really have that suspense that Millionaire is always known for, and I think they could have worked with it. But also, like, here's the weird thing: is like just to touch back on the Wii version, there is a one where Chris Tarrant is actually saying hello and welcome. It's not used in the game, but it is like the video file exists for it, but it's not played because I guess they just forgot to code it.
Yeah.
It does. They do have like a hello and welcome for the DS version.
Yeah.
And
which is visible.
The DS version. Yeah, the DS version also is just the same thing as the Wii. They just use the video files, but they don't really do too much with the animation of it. And most of the like questions as well are on the bottom screen compared to like if it was on the top screen. You can also use like the D-pad and the A button and the buttons as well. So you don't have to just primarily rely most of the time on touchscreen. Although like they probably want you to, like because that's probably what they had in mind. It's fine.
All right. It's okay.
It does the job. It's all right. Like,
I mean, at the time, we're talking about before iPhones were existent, really, about 2007-ish, 2007. So if you want to play Millionaire on the go, you had your DS at the time, first edition. It did the job.
Yeah. If you had like Party Edition PSP, the 3 GBA games, and first edition DS game, I practically think you would be fine as long as you were okay with like the GBA games and the DS game not being as great as, let's say, the PSP version of Party Edition. It's fine. I wouldn't really play this game much as like the Wii version. You know,
I mean, say if you're on a bus, it's a long journey. What are you going to do? Play Millionaire
or
on your DS
on
at the time.
Yeah, or on the car trip.
Yeah, on the car trip. So that's first edition done.
Yeah, I think I would rank this lower, to be honest. But it's your tier list, anyways.
It's personal opinion.
Yeah, it's personal opinion.
Second edition Wii. I'm gonna say it's good. It's a good game, and here's my reasons why. This is the first game to use the rave music and the rave format. The intro is there, perfect, visible from the TV show, perfect. It has more features. You can play fastest finger first games and phone a friend games, separate mini games and stuff.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, and the great thing about it uses me characters.
Yeah, which was like a advertised thing, and even like the hello and welcome to the new and improved second edition. Chris Tarrant mentions like you can play as your very own me character to win the virtual million. Yes, also take that keyword as well, virtual million, and apply it to every single like Millionaire games.
Unless you're playing 5th edition, because at the time the prize was real cash prize. But we'll get to 5th later.
Yeah, we'll get to 5th because that's when we start with the DVD games. Yeah. Second edition to me, and I think you might agree with me here, Idaho, was a little bit harder.
Yeah, the questions are a little bit harder.
They were a bit harder, and also like the audio as well for like questions like 3 through 10 and then like 10 through 12 also had like the audio like cues also cut down to probably like save on space because they were probably writing a bunch of questions into the game, so it was like they probably needed to have like as half as the audio cues, like edited down to make sure it still fits on the disc.
Yeah.
So it was still hearable. The only one that was practically unaffected by this was the questions 1 to 2, or if you watch this in the reboot on Olga, 1 to 5. But yeah, it's a really good one. I just think they went a bit too much on the junior questions. Like, there were certain ones that was like, okay, big question. How the hell was a junior meant
Be able to know
this?
that.
Yeah, like, in 1947, for example, this thing happened, you know? And a kid...
How
that
would
had this
how would an 8-year-old
would-
kid be able to know what happened in 1947?
How would even any kids who played this would have likely to know this? Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm clearly thinking, right? Like, they clearly knew where their priorities was with
Clearly
this.
thinking 8-year-olds had IQs of 148.
Well, no, their priorities was pretty much focused on the adults,
Yeah.
like the normal questions that you could just, like, it would probably have set to, but you could, like, change it in the settings to, like, from adult to junior, which you may notice that might actually become a thing in one of the DVD games. Ooh!
Oh, we'll get to that shortly. But I'm going to say, good game, highly improved on the first edition, very good.
Yeah.
Now, the
It's
second
just-
edition DS,
yeah.
slight downgrade, because it's DS.
We're back on the DS, but the good thing is unlike first edition, where it felt like just a lazy job on the music, they at least try to incorporate all of the, like, cues into this. Granted, they went the rave ones,
Yeah.
apart from like when after Chris Tarrant finished saying his hello and welcome was, like, the host entrance, but very bit crushed. But yeah, the second edition was slightly better. It's slightly better than the first edition DS. But like, the fact that
it's another game that does the job. It's another game that does the job, but with more features.
It does the job, and I think this was also one where you could still control it with the buttons.
Yes.
I think, or this could have just been like the only game where you practically had to, like, you couldn't use the buttons. You practically had to use the touchscreen. I believe you could, but I'll have to boot up the game again just to check both versions. In fact,
now we come to the nitty gritty stuff. The hardcore Millionaire games. 7 DVD games.
Yeah.
Which I have all of them, so does James.
Yep, I can confirm. Alright,
we're going to start with the first edition, the 2002 edition.
Okay, so I say this is a pretty good game.
Yeah. Again,
for
very good.
Especially for an interactive, like, DVD. Like,
the world this was the world's first DVD game.
Yeah, I mean, it even said, like,
play the world's first DVD game. Play the game on your DVD player.
Like, play the world's greatest quiz show on your DVD player using your DVD remote. And, like, and instead of, like, just relying on, like, a 3D model or virtual or anything, this time, because obviously this is you're playing this on an actual DVD player, and DVD had support for, like, interactivity, you could actually make a game out of this. I mean, like the Secrets and Surprises also sort of had a, like, interactive game in there.
Magic Moments and More. Magic Moments and More. That's what it was called.
Yeah, the Magic Moments and More DVD did have that, but it was, like, not really.
It wasn't a game. It was just questions and then next.
Yeah, it felt like an afterthought, but it's not on this.
It felt like, right, if you needed questions for a pub quiz, if you needed 15 questions for a pub quiz, you have 6 lots of 15 questions for that. So,
Anyways, back to the first edition 2002 DVD. One thing you will have to note about every DVD game is, even in, the worst edition,
which we'll get to.
Yeah. One thing you will note is all DVD games are 4x3.
Yes.
You cannot change them to 16:9. If you play on the monitor as well, they are all naturally stretched as well. Not a single DVD game ever went, like,
Right.
16 by 9.
I'm surprised because at least for the 4th edition, 2006, that's when some DVD games were in 16 by 9. Deal or No Deal for a start. Because both Deal or No Deal games was in 16 by 9. So maybe it was Universal's fault. Who knows?
Or maybe they were just lazy and shit.
Maybe because they couldn't be asked to.
Exactly. But first edition 2002 is a good game. Now,
the one thing I will say about it.
You're going to say it.
The 50-50. When you use the 50-50 lifeline, it always highlights the wrong answer.
Yeah, that was it. I was also telling Jayden that as well, like, about this earlier. Like the 2002 version. This only happens in the 2002 version. This does not happen later in the re-release and even editions following the re-release.
But apart from that,
the 2002 also came on 2 discs as well.
Featured more questions.
For more questions, which the re-release later down the road
never had.
Just like they were just one disc. They weren't like dual discs. So if you wanted dual disc experience, but could put up with the bug that is the like the using 50-50 then highlights the wrong question, then good luck.
Yeah.
But it's a fun game.
Yeah. Perfect transition to the first edition, 2003. Made by Universal, as long as the other 6. So, again, I'm going to say, actually, it's good. It's good.
Yeah. I think I don't think we really need to explain that much about this. The only thing that should just be mentioned is this is just a re-release of the 2002 version.
It fixes the bug. It fixes the bug. That's for sure.
Practically this is like the 2003 is like a patch that was released on an actual disc that you just inserted and just play. And this is also the first. This was also the re-release that just now comes on 1 disc. It doesn't come on 2 discs like the 2002 version. You can also tell that this is the 2003 just by looking at the 2 box arts, like of the 2002, 2003, where Chris Tarrant is now just looking at an empty hot seat because it wants to imagine you are sitting there in that hot seat. So practically nothing's different. It's just they fixed the issue with the 2002 version, and I don't know if any new questions was added in this version.
No new questions. The only So those are the 2 first editions. Now, second edition. The first game to have multiplayer. The first DVD game to have multiplayer. The questions are really quite hard. They've upped the ante.
Okay, do you think second edition DVD is harder than second edition on the Wii?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I have played second edition, but I feel like I haven't played it as much as the Wii second edition. So, but I can definitely from like your video, like you won't get into £1 million unless you like really know some of the stupid, obscure stuff the game throws at you.
Again, it's pure luck on those questions. Pure luck.
Yeah, but the good thing is like this was like the first like DVD edition to include multiplayer.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, all of us did include some sort of multiplayer, but like
this was the first one.
On a DVD player, not a console, not handhelds, not any of that. An actual, DVD player that you watch movies on.
Yeah. And yet you're playing a game on it.
I like this one. It's just, I think they just really, I think they just looked at like probably reviews one day of like the 2002 2003 editions, and people practically said, "Oh, this is easy," and they were just like, "All right,
okay, here you go. 4 players, really hard questions.
yeah, really bullshit questions that you'll never get to." And then people were like, "Bro, that's too hard.
Yeah. You want a challenge?
Down."
You bloody got it.
Well, yeah. So if you want to absolutely blow your brains out and lose marbles, play the friggin' DVD second edition.
Trying to figure out the answer to a £500 question with practically no lifelines.
God.
Okay.
And if you want to see Idaho's video on him just losing brain cells, just watch
trying
it.
to figure out a
Honestly, hilarious.
£300 question with no lifelines. Yeah, that's happened a few times. Now,
anyways,
third edition DVD. No messing about. I love it. I absolutely friggin' love this game.
That's interesting.
First game to have pictures.
Yeah. I think
and first game to have adult or junior.
Yeah. Which I did mention earlier in second edition. Ooh. You know, that's why I did. that's why I did. Ooh, we're gonna get there. But yeah,
believe it or not, this is actually one of the first Millionaire games I ever got.
That's interesting.
No, the very first one I got was first edition PS1. That was the very first one I got. So you know,
my very first DVD game was literally the second edition because I got that for free at my old school.
Yeah.
So. And ever since that, I just collected all the DVD games from the good old CEX.
Good old CEX.
And then some from like, and some from like eBay as well. But anyways,
I got all the DVD games from CEX apart from 6th. But we'll get to 6th in about 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. Tangent over.
Yeah. So first game to feature pictures, and the first game to feature adult or junior questions.
Yeah, third edition is also colloquially known as the Family Picture edition. So either third edition or Family Picture edition, whichever you want to look at it at. We're just going to call it third edition because technically this is the third DVD
this is the
game.
third game to be released.
And notice how we get a third edition, fourth edition, fifth edition, and sixth edition. We don't get any new editions for PS1, PC, PS2, GBA, Wii, all that other stuff.
I think at the time the DVD games were easier to make.
Well, yeah, because it's literally just background
question graphics, music.
Yeah. But although they were slightly cut down, which they do actually start getting shorter and shorter as we get to the later DVD games, especially 5th edition. It barely even lasts probably a few seconds before it starts looping in on itself again. But Family Picture Edition is a really good game. I don't really. I mean, it's all right. I think the later 2 DVD games are better in my opinion. But for what it was trying, it was it's pretty solid.
For me, it's just pure nostalgia because it was one of the first games I got.
Yeah,
it's very good. It does the trick and more. Plus, there's 2 Christian questions in there. Pure narcissism.
I think you put it there is because you had nostalgia for this game, so I could understand. Whereas me, as I didn't. I only played them because I was a Millionaire fan and didn't even realize DVD games existed until I laid my hands and eyes on second edition on the DVD. Because for the longest time I had Dreamcast, the Dreamcast version, and that was the only version I had for the longest time.
Yeah.
Until I started all the other versions with I believe my own money. Anyways.
Right.
And as well.
Right, 4th edition.
Also
again,
the
Family Entertainment Edition.
Yeah, Family Entertainment. This is the Millionaire game that introduces not only...
Again, I love it.
Pretty much take the pictures and the adult and junior questions from
The third edition. And then add more features. You can actually choose the category of questions.
Yeah, so take second edition's 1 to 4 players, third edition's adult and junior, and this one in now
2006.
For 2006. Bear in mind 4x3 still, but the good thing is you now actually get to choose what kind of
category of questions
you want. And the 3 were general knowledge, entertainment and sports. Which, let's just be honest, if you chose sports, good luck.
Yeah. No. Come in, sit down, and get the first question wrong if you're not a sports fan.
Yeah, and clearly, me, Idaho, Jayden,
Jack.
probably, and Jack,
and Tom as well on some occasions.
Yeah, unless you sort of knew the sport, then yeah, you probably just think these questions are easy. But we're not really that big into sports, so
let me tell you now from experience, adult sport is the worst.
I mean, you just practically choose junior.
No. I choose adult. but not for sport.
Wait. So which ones do you choose junior in?
Just entertainment, really.
Fair enough. Okay, but yeah. So take the best of the first, of second and third, and make it even better in fourth.
Yeah, 5th edition. It's
good.
It's good.
Now this is interesting. Yes. Now this is interesting. If you look on the box of
the game, it says win £15,000. However,
yeah.
when you play the actual game, when you play the actual game, it says win 1 times 10,000 or 5 times 1,000 in the cash prize draw. What does it? Yeah. So the top prize is actually 10 grand.
So, and another thing I think we forgot to mention is I think all these DVD games had some sort of competition prize you could enter if you bought the.
It was a holiday.
It was a holiday that had an expiration, a close date. I think first edition though didn't really have some sort of close date, so it's okay, so is this practically still ongoing? Can I still enter it? What do you do?
Yeah.
Which I think is why they added the close date later on, because they probably didn't think that people would be that stupid.
Exactly.
But, yeah. So, what was the competition for the 5th edition?
It was, I think, cash prize. So it was either 10,000. It was either 1 times 10,000 or 5 times 1,000. I think I had to enter one of the two.
Okay, so there wasn't a holiday?
No holiday. It was just cash.
Okay, yeah. This is why it's also called
the real cash prize edition
as the real cash prize, because you could actually win touchy-feelable, winnable prizes.
Money, real money.
Yeah. As what Chris Tarrant said. So, and this is not me just making this up. You can actually hear Chris Tarrant actually say this in the DVD game. The only thing is as well is just Chris Tarrant just looks depressed.
Yeah. One word, Ingrid. Ingrid.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe flash up a quick screenshot of Chris Tarrant just in when you're editing this, Idaho. Just flash up that screen.
There's quite a lot of bits I need to edit because I think we're nearly over an hour in. Christ.
Jesus, good luck. Good luck editing.
Jesus Christ! I imagine upload the full thing. No edit done because right.
I mean, if you want to, I could probably try and edit it. But anyways.
Yeah, but anyway. Do you know what? Do you know what? We've put this up for long enough. Ladies and gentlemen, the 6th edition. What can we say about this?
Absolutely dog shit of a dick.
No, yeah. One word, dog shit. Absolute dog shit.
I know Tom is going to disagree with us, TIL, by the way. Go subscribe to him. I'm sorry. This game should have not released.
Right.
In the way it was, it's okay, so you have these stupid, little
remote control, which didn't even bloody work.
Do you know why the box is thicker than the other editions because they had to include that in the actual box itself.
Yeah.
Making it thicker. It's so... And the thing is you also had to calibrate this to your actual
DVD
TV
player.
remote. Well, you actually had to... the little mini remotes, you actually had to just calibrate them to the actual TV remote. Like, it uses your IR sensor to basically determine... And I know TIL is going to disagree with us, but I'm sorry. In the way this was released, this should have not existed, or it should have just had much better testing.
Mate, try playing it on a PS3. It is so complicated. Yeah, I don't know how I got that thing to work in 2019, but somehow I got there.
Yeah, but the only thing is you can't play like the main one. You can only play like
actually, yes, you can, but it's even more complicated than playing the 10th anniversary special games.
Great. Can't wait
I'm
until
sorry, but no.
Can't wait until you...
It's at the bottom.
I can't wait until you try and make a video doing that and failing.
Listen, that could be a 3-hour video, mate. It's too complicated.
Idaho, with all due respect, please put it in. It should not exist.
Guess what? I've already done it.
Very good. All right.
Listen, try playing it. You know exactly what I mean. Now,
moving away from
the crappy edition.
Moving away from DVD games and the dog shit edition that shouldn't exist. Let's talk about
the mobile games.
The mobile games. And
the more recent editions.
Yeah, the more recent editions, which I tried to put this tier list in also in somewhat of an order, so I didn't put them in release order, I just tried to put them in order that made sense.
I've only played this once. Again, it does the job. It's fine. It's fine.
So you may be confused as to the icon, but
is it the 2014 edition?
This is the 2014 mobile game.
I've played that multiple times actually. The icon confused me a little bit. I thought something else.
Well, you played this on your iPad.
Oh Jesus Christ! 2016.
Yeah.
Christ, don't go there.
With a very young Idaho.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, the 2014 mobile game, also known as the mobile game with the most 2012 questions.
Yeah. In 2012, that is half of the questions.
Which Olympic sport in 2012 happened here?
Who won the most gold medals at the 2012 Olympic Games? That's pretty much half of the question database.
Do you? If you ever check out my YouTube channel, if you go back to the older videos, you may have noticed that I retitled some of my mobile versions to 2012, because there's just so many friggin' mobile there's just so many friggin' 2012 questions in this game. It's bro, there's more 2012 questions than 2014 or 2013 questions.
Yeah.
It's just what were they just that obsessed?
With
2012?
Did the game developer get married in 2012 or something like that? I don't know. Jesus Christ.
Did two-way traffic get married in 2012? Because it feels like it.
Yeah, it surely feels like it. They really must love 2012. Something must have happened in that year for the developers.
It must have been 2012 must have been a very important year.
Yeah, very good year for them.
Because most of the questions, majority of questions, probably I don't know how many, are just really 2012. This
2012 based.
This is if we took the live editions of Who Wants to Be a Millionaire from 2011, 2014.
The people play.
Around that time. Yeah. Around that time when Millionaire was going more towards celebrities and just about real stuff instead of actual proper general knowledge. This feels like they were inspired by that and just did even more crazy stuff. But aside from 2012, it's a really good game. This does use the rave beds as well, although not that many. There's literally the one thing that just plays is the questions 1 to 2 bed,
and that's throughout the whole game.
And that's it. and that's it. Even like when you get to £50,000, it still plays the £1,000. Sorry about that. £1,000. You do get Switch in this question. You do get Switch in this game, which I think is also something we should mention about 5th edition, which was the introduction of Switch as well. I mean, technically 2010 as well for the real show, but like Switch was technically introduced into the UK. Actually, no, it was technically Flip in like some celebrity ones, but we're not talking about those.
Yeah, but mainly it was Switch. It's Switch.
It was mainly Switch the question,
not
which is
Flip,
like
Switch.
So 5th edition introduced it. The real show had it in 2010. The mobile game had it in 2014. Although it's not unlocked. It's not unlocked immediately after completing 1,000. Instead, like you only got it like after you've completed the 50,000.
Yeah. From 2010, you got the Switch when you got the £50,000 question correct.
Yeah. And so it's a good game. Although like, it's I don't know. It's fine. I just think what annoys me is just the amount of 2012 questions you get in this game. It's just like, bro, give me a question that doesn't start in 2012.
Or which event happened in 2012?
Yeah.
Jesus, God.
I'd probably rank it lower just because of the
I put it in meh. It's fine. It does the job.
I think it does the job, but please, no more 2012 questions in my Millionaire games, please.
Right. Okay. Strap yourselves in. I'm going to say it. No, it's not that. That's next. First, the god-awful shuffle game. Where do I begin with this?
By the way, just to say this as well, this is we call this the shuffle game. What it's actually called is Millionaire Trivia TV like game on the iOS App Store and Android Google Play. But we call this shuffle game because literally, if you listen to the music of this game, it's
the first question is why on earth are they using the shuffle music? That's not Millionaire, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's just off-brand Millionaire.
Yeah,
that's like if Millionaire just went into like a comedy like skit and that was just like the music being used as well.
Okay, say if Millionaire was used in some sort of parody show or something like that. Even I'm a Celebrity, when they had Matt Hancock on, they didn't use bloody the shuffle music. They used the proper music, man.
Yeah, they actually went out of the way to
and use the really proper music. So well done, ITV.
It reminds me, right? Do you know when Sidemen do those crappy game show remakes for their channel?
Oh god,
the shuffle music is kind of likely the thing that they've fucking used.
Yeah, true.
But in the game, it's like in the game, it's kind of like Millionaire virtually on tour. Like you travel to the different places.
Welcome to Who Wants to Be Millionaire on Tour. That's an idea for a new show by Sony. Write it down quickly.
Here's the thing: since the release of Millionaire Champions, which is what we'll get to later, this game should not exist anymore.
Do you know what? Do you know what? I was going to put it there anyway. This game should not have even existed.
Like probably at the time, yes, but now Millionaire Champions out and it's got more positive reviews than this game. I mean, don't get me wrong. This game somehow has also got positive reviews.
I don't know why.
But here's the weird thing: is like the app icon as well is just
it's the American.
It's the American logo, which I believe before this was the UK pounds, and then they just switched it for whatever reason to the US version, which was like such an unnecessary change. It just, I'm sorry, it shouldn't exist.
Another game that was absolute dog shit.
It's crap. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's playable.
It's playable, but then again, it's crap at the same time.
It's just not. It just shouldn't exist anymore.
And one more thing, it has ads. It has ads.
Yeah, and that's another. It has ads. I mean, it's a free to play game, but like the way it was just this version was handled was just like, my God, why do you exist?
Okay.
I mean, there was also like newer versions of the 2014, like for like different countries, but like we don't talk about that.
There was football. There was a French version. There was that.
Yeah.
Okay.
But for the Millionaire game trivia TV game, it should not exist anymore.
Okay.
Hell no.
Okay.
So
hold tight. Get ready. Strap yourselves in. Brace yourselves. It is the Macroids game.
Wait, he said the thing, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I said the thing.
Game.
I want to also preface this as well. If you're wondering why the new edition PS5 is on there, it's pretty much just the same game.
It's exactly the same game.
And also deluxe upgrade.
James, we both know we have exactly the same feelings of this game.
It's shit.
Yeah, it's shit. How did you describe the set when it first came out?
I forgot, but like
no. This is what you said. This is what you said. It looks like the French set on crack.
Yes, it does.
And I added with ketamine and meth put in.
Yeah, and you know what? I still stand by what I said. I have not like let that sentiment of what I said about this game go. The thing is, right, when this was announced, like obviously Macroids was just like
we never heard of them up until this game was released.
We've never heard of them up until like we saw a Millionaire logo and was like, wait, new Millionaire game?
Yay!
Finally!
At last!
At last.
And then we saw the set.
Yeah, and then we saw screenshots of the actual game, and then reality just hit us in the fucking face.
But mate, then again, it was COVID. More disappointments were to come.
Well, yeah, this was released during like 2020 as well.
COVID.
Hence why this was, and also this wasn't really an addition, so to say. This was just called "Who Wants to Be a Millionaire?" the video game. I mean, it's not really mentioned on the box art for the game as well, but like it. I mean, in the advertisements for this game, which if you've seen advertisements for this game or like trailers, you know, like you were in for a ride of disappointment when you saw the set was not even like anywhere close. Like this game had potential to be like the very first time we saw our very own like rebooted set, which is the 20th
nothing
anniversary
like
set
the set. It is nothing like the set. Nothing.
It's such a lazy, just like add on to the French.
It's a cheap. I was going to say cheap knockoff, but we paid £35 for this game, so it's not a cheap knockoff. It's an expensive knockoff.
That's another thing that I'm still resenting about this game is that I paid friggin' full price for this. Which I do now.
I paid release price for it, £35 for this game.
Yeah, I also got this on release day as well.
Yeah, £35.
So we both have some sort of like have some good resentment towards this game. I mean, I did buy this later on PC down the road because like there was a sale going on,
much cheaper,
and I even got the deluxe upgrade.
Yeah.
And then you would also notice as well, like the questions weren't that worded and written.
They didn't make any bloody sense.
Yeah,
it was like playing the Australian games.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on those.
Listen. If you put the Australian games on this list, I would have got into a 3-hour word essay. Seriously, a 3-page essay.
To be honest, I know you probably could make a video on that and probably
just that alone. That video alone would be 3 hours long.
You might as well make that a live stream. To be honest.
Jesus Christ!
It make more sense then.
Right.
But anyways, listen. The Macroid game is, as we like to call it, but this is technically the 2020 game.
Yeah.
Okay. So here's the issues, right? So if you played this on the Switch, which I did, I bought this literally day friggin' one. So and even still to this day, I still own the copy that probably still has the 1.0 very not so great version of it. The host and the host doesn't even like no the audio clips for the host even play. Like you got the subtitles, which you could hide, but like none of the audio for the host or the contestant played. But it was made worse than that. The video wall also like the logo
It was
appeared,
the same
but then
video
after,
wall.
like, it got into the it got like the video wall didn't even play the correct backgrounds either as well, which you probably which you know because you watched it at the time.
Yeah,
but
that was an interesting period, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was an interesting period, but also those videos don't exist anymore, which I'm kind of glad about. But yeah, I mean, if I deleted Who Wants to Be a Millionaire off of my the digital version of my Switch and then just played the 1.0 version, boy, did it make my Switch fans like revel like crazy.
Yeah. Do you know what? I remember at the time you didn't have a capture card. Those fans went on.
Yeah, like I didn't. This was also again. This was the era where I was just literally just pointing my
iPad
camera at the iPad at the TV screen to record my gameplay, and it wasn't great, but like honest to God, it was just
mate. I could hear the fans from the Discord call. It was loud.
Yeah. I literally could. I literally also made like an unboxing video the day of release as well, which is also gone. And the only thing about this game is that the French version is completely fine.
Yeah.
So people in France basically got a very good game.
Lucky gits.
You lucky bastards.
You lucky little toe rags.
You lucky fucking bastards. This is why we fucking clown on you, French people.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Anyway.
Also,
there are actually two positives to come out of this. Surprising. There are positives to come out of the Macroids game.
I know, who would have thought?
And those are the backgrounds, the Olga backgrounds, and the question graphics.
Yeah, they were those were the two positives. Like the Olga backgrounds, also they weren't like correctly like
they weren't color corrected properly.
They weren't color corrected wrongly. They were just like weird. Like you could tell like they just colored like they corrected it in game by coding it correctly. But like when you look at the video files for them, if you have the PC version of them as well.
Oh, let me tell you, I had fun going through those files.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun, and guess what? Since now I have the PC version, it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
The only thing about the on-screen graphics as well, the lozenges, was you could kind of tell they were pretty much recreated and not actually official.
Yeah.
Were the later two, which we'll get to. Now, new edition PS5, basically the same game, just with a few extra tweaks.
A few extra tweaks to the set. You can actually see the Gobo's reflection on the floor.
Yeah, but that was only at the highest quality, whereas if you played this on the Switch...
you didn't get it.
You didn't get it, or if you played even the PC version on low settings, it was practically like you were just playing the Switch version.
Yeah.
And even if you played it on ultra low, you practically got nothing.
Yeah, you got sod all.
Yeah, you practically got nothing, which the PS4 base version was kind of semi like the Switch version, but you could still kind of make it out. I believe if you believe if you played on PS4 Pro, then it might have just been the same. But if you bought like a literal PlayStation 5 copy of New Edition, which made it useless by the time the deluxe upgrade came out, which again was New Edition in disguise, by the way. So yeah, it was in 2021, and I still have the YouTube shorts of when that when that happened as well.
Jesus Christ.
Like, yeah, and like Regis fan as well played it and was just like, it's not really that good. It's just, I mean, the only positive is like they redone the animations to make it slightly better, and they added like more questions on top of it. It was like 8,000 questions.
8,000 questions.
Over like I believe 4,000 or
4,000 questions from Party Edition. So, more questions, but visually it's not great.
Yeah, so the original had like, I believe, 3,000, 4,000 questions. This was also, if we exclude New Edition at first, and then add New Edition, you got 8,000. So if you add them all together, you basically got like
16,000 questions.
Yeah, so you practically got like Millionaire style. You practically were climbing a money tree without even realizing you've just got 16,000 base on DLC questions.
Right. So where am I going to put this? It's fine, or it should not exist.
I'm sorry, but this game should have been delayed, or it should not. It should have not existed. I'm sorry. I know.
Okay. Okay. I put it in. It should not exist.
Okay. Here's the thing. Okay, it should not exist for the countries that were ripped off. It should exist in the country that got it right.
So France.
So just France, yes. So they should have released it in France first, and then maybe, I don't know, maybe 2020, like later down in 2020 or 2021 even, release the international versions with the correct sets, because then that would actually, make sense. But yeah, the new edition PS5 was just out of the blue. It was just like who asked for a re-release on PS5? Like that's another thing as well. It's like it's the same game.
It's the same game, but with increased amount of questions to the PS5.
Yeah, and you notice how Idol said it that way, because I also said it that way.
Please tell me you still have that video somewhere. Please tell me.
I think I do. I don't know exactly if I do or not. I want to believe I do, but don't count me on that.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyways,
so
listen.
That's the Macroids
game. It should not exist. The Macroids game should not exist, or it should have been delayed.
It was rubbish with a capital R.
Yeah, it was rubbish with a capital R.
Pathetic with a capital P. Trash with a capital T. You get the drift.
And dog shit in like every meme.
Dog shit in complete capitals.
Yes, dog shit. Yeah,
honestly, James, that bit staying in. That you shouting dog shit is staying in.
Okay, sure. Anyways, listen, the Macroids, look, unless they did something with it, which they clearly didn't. And if you remember as well, I talked about there was a roadmap for this game.
Oh yeah, where was the bloody roadmap? Sod all.
Yeah, here's the thing, right? When games like have like a post game roadmap, like it like they release it on when they show it. When they showed the roadmap for this game, and then we like expected it to come out, it didn't come out. It goes to show you just how bullshit this game was, and like none of the things actually came out. And you know what? I was actually genuinely going to be excited to answer some like video
game questions. There were anime questions allegedly.
Well, yeah, those were already in the game. Like you had to purchase. I'm talking about like Nintendo, Microsoft, and Sony, like video game like based questions. Yeah, and guess what? They never released because
they never released type. It was never released. Type bastards.
Because it was. Yeah, it was never released because they knew what they put out was such a game. It was just like, why? And also, like, you can tell, like, how barely promoted this game was on the Twitter account.
Yeah. One advert,
as well.
and that's it. One advert, and that's it.
Yeah,
They paid him and thought,
It was, and you could definitely tell this was probably just Sony just telling them, hey, just put out one more, just put out a tweet just to let everyone know it's out, you know, yada, yada, yada. Here's the weird thing, okay, before we move on to the
final two.
The other 2020 game. Yeah, the final two. This game came out in October, first in UK and Europe.
And then America had to wait a couple weeks later, in November.
Yeah, but it doesn't make any sense. Like, what?
It's exactly the same game.
The thing is, the American version was already in the game. And yet, like, you had to wait
an extra 2 weeks.
Like, you had to wait an extra 2 weeks into November
to play the bloody game,
so that you can purchase the game officially and with, like, you know, not even bother to import the game. Because let's be honest, if you wanted to play this game now at that time, you might as well have just imported the European version of the game, especially if you had it on Switch where it was like region free.
Yeah.
Anyways, bullshit and like everything about this game.
It's crap.
It's god awful.
It is absolutely god awful. Exactly.
The roadmap was a complete and utter disaster and a clusterfuck. and just oh my god! I hate this game.
No, James. One word to sum up this game: dog shit.
Yeah. Yes, and I stand by that. Anyways. It should not exist, and I'm not sorry if anyone likes this game, and if anyone comes at me in the comments saying why I'm wrong, I'm just gonna prove you, you know, with my experience and my evidence. I mean, we've practically talked about this game, like
we've played it. We've played it.
We played it, and if we haven't done a good job at explaining it, go watch fucking videos.
Watch the videos!
Go watch the videos that have been made on this game, including when I actually were able to get a capture card for this game on the Switch. Go see them, and then come back to me with, like...
actual evidence.
And see if what you said earlier, that I was wrong... Well, I would guarantee you would have changed your mind in a finger snap.
Yeah. Anyway. That's the Macroids game. The final two. Now.
That was actually a very long rant about this game.
I was expecting something longer, mate.
This game was just so
crap.
Incredibly...
It's crap.
The fact... Okay, I guarantee you. I also want to say this as well. This game was dead on arrival.
Yeah.
I'm just saying it right now. And I don't care if any comments say, oh, this game wasn't doing around, it's actually somewhat decent, you just don't give it a chance. Well, I'm not giving it a
well, mate, 3 months. 3 months we had to wait. We saw the screenshots. It wasn't good. Get it in your heads.
Yes, we saw the screenshots, and this was and it was practically the same when it fucking released. Get that shit in your fucking head.
Get that in your brains, you cretins.
Alright, listen. We're done with this.
Enough ranting about that crap Macroids game. Enough ranting about the dog shit game.
We could literally make a full,
we can make a 2-hour live stream just on the game, just on the Macroids game alone.
Yeah. Anyways, let's talk about...
the final two games on the list. I haven't played the macOS game yet. But from what I've seen, I'm going to put it on... I love it. It's good.
And guess what? I've played it. So I can tell you from experience.
Yeah. Go on, James.
This game, chef's kiss. It's so... Oh, I love it. It's exactly what... the 2020 Macroids game should have been.
But it wasn't. It was published by Macroids, a game who Enough about the macros.
Enough about the macros. It was developed by Frogmelon.
Frogmelon.
Game. What?
Frogmelon. I think the publisher was.
I don't know. However it's pronounced, it's probably likely on the screen. Or if I took a screenshot of my own video to use, which you're free to use anyways.
Yeah. This will all go in the edit, James. If you want to do the editing, I'll send it to you.
Okay, but this game is just so beautiful. I love the set. I love the video wall. The only thing I will and I know I'm praising this game, but even then, this game does have its first share of things that I think it is worth of criticizing. Is why is the logo on the video floor?
Yeah. Why is the logo on the video floor?
I mean, I know this is probably somewhat in reference to the original design for the 20th anniversary set, which this game is pretty much based on. It's basically this game is based on in design is based on the set that you saw in the concept of the 20th anniversary set before the actual 20th anniversary set got built. So we're practically playing an in-game version of that, which is also the same set, by the way, just improved for the Millionaire Champions that released this year. But oh boy, was this game amazing!
Yeah.
The only thing I will say is when it's at the title screen, it's you've got your play, you've got your settings, you've got your quit, you've got your help. It doesn't really show a logo for whatever reason. You've just got the options, and you've got you can set it to the different currencies. You don't really, but the thing is you don't have a whole lot in this game. You don't have a whole lot to do in this game other than just press play and hope for the best. But not having a logo as the intro movie finishes, it's just I don't know. It's just weird.
Mm. But apart from that, the set looks good.
Apart from that,
they're using the proper graphics.
Exactly, and I like the animations as well. I think this is definitely a very, very, very good game.
I put it on. I love this game because I haven't played it, but I love everything about it. And finally, the most recent game, which came out about a month ago, Millionaire, the Champions. I can honestly say it is bloody fantastic.
I love this game.
It is everything a Millionaire game should be, and more. Classic features, no clock, and it even has the modern twist to it. It has the safety net setting. What's not to love?
This was also in the macOS game,
by the way,
if you look at the set of both the macOS and the iOS and Android, yes, this game is on Android. We thought this wasn't on Android.
For the best part of a week.
Sorry, Android users.
Sorry, Android users, but Apple rules. Got it.
But yeah, and if you're wondering why it's called Champions, is because you can actually face the actual people who were millionaires on the actual show. You could actually play the questions, which I think is such a cool thing. I like that it has a separate set away from the normal one.
It has a good recreation of the classic set, which on mobile, it's alright. It's on mobile. Don't expect it to be 10 out of 10 plexiglass to perfection. It's on mobile, so you know.
And because this game is a paid game, but it's £2.
It's £2.
It's
worth every penny. It is worth every penny.
This is finally a game that takes the assets from the macOS game and finally puts it on iOS and Android. Like, I even sent an email if they ever had any plans to put this on iOS. Like, they said no right now, but like, now that it's here, it's just like, finally, the macOS game that I praised is now on a platform that has
it's more accessible. It's more accessible, and may I say, it's even better than the Mac OS/Apple TV game. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I do have to agree. I think the cool features they added in this it does make it slightly better than the macOS game. I feel like if they replaced the macOS 2020 game with Champions on macOS, I think then it still will just be the best game ever. Which I believe the macOS game is still available. The current one, so it's probably a matter of time before the it's before Champions Edition version probably gets replaced on the Mac Store and / Apple TV App Store as well. But honestly, I honestly love this game.
It is, like, I think the best game since second edition PS2. I'm gonna say that. I'm gonna say that now.
This is like I've been hoping and praying that they would finally release the Mac OS and Apple TV version of this game on iOS and Android. Well, iOS because
because iOS is far superior to Android. Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, but like it's just so good, and like the cool things is like you can play it in portrait. It's very cool.
Play it in landscape, even better.
Yeah, if you play in landscape, you've practically then got like the actual experience. You get the same experience. Like all the animations are practically just the same as the macOS version, so you can kind of tell that they just use that, but they also improved it as well. Where before the video floor just had the logo, now it's actually got the actual video floor animation playing this time, and I kind of wish they did kind of play the video wall animation, but I can kind of understand because they don't want to probably blow up every phone with these crazy animations.
Exactly.
Even though it's not that crazily complicated because it's just simple movement that happens. The only thing I don't like about this game is when you're playing in portrait and when you do get a question right, the £100 text is a little bit small.
It's quite small on the video wall.
Yeah, it's quite small to see, but when you even change it to landscape, it still has that bug. So who knows? Maybe it will be. Maybe in due time, somewhere, this game could probably be patched to fix that. But other than that, I just got nothing but positive things to say.
It's really, really, really good. It is really, really good.
I think this game is totally worth it.
And the good thing about it, they keep adding these constant updates, which I like.
Yeah. They also had some new updates as well, which thanks Mattia, by the way, for also making me aware of this version of the game, because I immediately bought it the second Mattia showed me this. As well,
and so. can I say thank you to you, James, for actually alarming me about this?
No worries. And
right. Because I got a DM from you about 4:00 about 4 weeks ago. It was a picture of the set of the game. I thought, what's this? And then you told me go on the App Store and type in Millionaire Champions. I was like, holy shit, a new Millionaire game.
Yep. wow, like Millionaire, like Sony and probably Stellify probably looked at it and was like, Millionaire fans, you're eating good tonight, and we Millionaire fans like me, you, Jayden, and everyone else. We were eating.
It's heaven. It's heaven.
Oh, we were eating good with this game.
When we played it, when I played it for the first time, I was, yes, finally.
I was like the guy in Fruit Drama. Who was it? It's the meme of like, shut up and take my money.
Yeah.
But it was him. Again, if you know, you know. But he's from Fruit Drama. I was just like, all right, you've got me spending £2 out of my bank account just to buy this game, and guess what? I don't regret it.
Exactly. Do you know what? Do you know what? I'm going to say this now. It is worth more. No. In quality, it's worth more than the Macroids game.
Absolutely.
1,000%.
Pay £2 for this game. Do not pay.
Do not pay 35 odd pounds for the crappy Macroids game. Take our word for it.
Before we close out, here's our recommendations. Play the PlayStation 2 version.
Play the DVD game.
I don't know.
Play some of them, not all of them.
Okay, but here's the thing. If you want the true, authentic experience, if you don't have a DVD player, play PlayStation 2.
Play the second edition PS2. Play the...
play macOS and iOS, and play macOS version, Millionaire Champions, and avoid at all costs Macroids game.
Do not spend £35 on the Macroids game. For the love of God, please.
Well, the good thing is I think it's cheap now, so... But obviously, if you saw this game at the time full price, I hope to God you didn't buy it like at that
£35
price.
at most.
I'm just gonna say this, and I'm not afraid to say this. I think the Macroids game was kind of a scam. It's shit. The screenshots were the original screenshots practically were correct about when the actual game was. We just thought, those were screenshots. Those were just from a early development build. Yeah. No, that's actually the final build.
That was the actual bloody set. It's crap. It's crap.
Anyways, let's stop now because...
Oh, dear. Do you know what, right? If you want a full rant about me and James and Jayden ranting about the Macroids game, we will do it at some point. We will actually do it at some point.
Definitely.
Because, that's not even half of what we even have, because I'm, bloody hell, an hour and a half of recording. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, let's just say this right here, right now. If you lot on Idaho's channel want that to happen, you lot better fucking subscribe right now. Get those likes up, because if we do that,
we will actually do it. We will actually do it.
We will actually do it. We will get in a Discord call, start up a live stream,
and we will actually do a 2-hour rant about the Macroids game.
Idaho, I feel like a 2 hour is being very kind. I feel like we're
3 hours
going for probably 4 or 5 hours.
Okay, if we're doing a 5-hour live stream, get all your snacks, make your tea, get your biscuits. We're gonna need it. It's gonna be a very, very long live stream. My thanks to James Birmingham, to Jayden Reid. Hour and a half worth of recording. Of course, it's going to be edited down because
Good luck, Idaho.
Jesus Christ, anyways, how am I going to do this? Right. Thank you all for watching. Live stream about the Macroids game incoming.
Whoop, whoop.
That is my list. Tell me if you agree with it, and tell me what you think about it. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
And if you disagree, fuck you. We're right. Anyways,
fuck it.
Anyways, Anyways, are you still recording?
Yes.
All right, Right. Now that you've watched this, go away. Go watch something else now.
That's staying in, mate. That's staying in.
Go ahead.
Mate,